There are two things certain in life: death and taxes. But in New Zealand, there is a third: getting overtaxed. The chances are, if you've ever worked in New Zealand, then you will have definitely been overtaxed. But the question is, how do you get your money back? In New Zealand, there are different tax brackets based upon how much you will earn in a year and how much you will get taxed accordingly. Now, for the 2016-17 financial year, they are as follows. Now, if you need the percentages for a previous financial year, then you can go and check out the link below, which will show you all the information that you need. As an example for this one here, if you were to earn $16,000 in a financial year, then you will get taxed 10.5% on the first $14,000 and then 17.5% on the remaining $2,000. However, if you've ever looked at your payslip in New Zealand, then you will have noticed that you'll probably be taxed more than what you should be. This is because your 2-month temporary job is extrapolated to a whole year's worth of earnings, and it averages out and they tax you based upon this number, not what you actually earn per week or month. I'm going to briefly go over an example, but if you do want a more detailed guide, then we have a very awesome blog post linked down below, so you can go and check that out. And in this video, I will be covering how to get tax backs for previous financial years, and I'll be covering that a little bit later. So the big question is, how do you get your money back? And the answer, it's a beautiful 12-page long form. Now, this form, which I've linked down below from the IRD website, is quite a long and sometimes a little bit confusing, and it does involve a lot of numbers. There's an exact detailed guide of how to fill this out step by step in our blog post below, so if you do need help with that, then go and check that out. It will help you a lot. The reason I say this is because if I try and explain this form in a video, it will take me around 25 hours, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to look at me for that long, so don't worry, I'll save you the trouble. But the one thing that you need to make sure that you have before you fill out this form is you need to have an open New Zealand bank account in order for them to pay your tax money directly into it. Now, if you don't have an open New Zealand bank account anymore, then there is a number that you can ring, and this will get you through to IRD, and you just talk with them and they will give you some options of what you can do. Now, after you fill this form out, there are two ways that you can send it off. If you're doing it for a previous tax year that's already ended, then you can do it online via IRD's website. Now, in order to send the form online, you will need to send it to IRD along with scans of your passport, your working holiday visa or equivalent, and then proof of your yearly income, which you can get from your MyIR account. Now, the other option that you have is to send it via post to the address in the description of this video. Now, it's very important if you're doing a partial year tax refund, and what I mean by that is, say you worked in August and September and you're leaving New Zealand in January and you don't want to wait until the end of March to apply for your tax refund. If you're doing a partial tax year refund, then you must send it via post. They will not accept it on an online application. In order to get this right, then you will need to write the date of when you entered New Zealand on the top of this 12-page form, and you'll need to write the date that you're departing New Zealand as well. And along with all the other scans that I previously mentioned, you will also need to send a flight itinerary of when and where you're leaving New Zealand. Now, after you have sent this form off, it will usually take around 6 to 10 weeks for you to get your tax refund back. If you didn't put a New Zealand bank account on your form and specified that you want it paid into that account, then they will send a check to your previously known address in New Zealand, which, as you've probably already left, wouldn't be very helpful. So make sure you write the bank account number on the form. And that is all there is to it. Not very hard at all, is it? Like I've said, everything in this video and much, much more is in our detailed blog post guide below. So if you need any help with filling out the form, where to send it to, or anything like that, go and check it out. Now, if there is a burning question that you have that we didn't cover in the blog post or this video, then you can message us by all means. I've been through the pain that is a tax refund for New Zealand, so I know what it's like. So message us, and if you've ever applied for a New Zealand tax refund, what was your experience like? Let us know down in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it helped you. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe, of course. And we'll see you next time.